Tanima is joining me from the newsroom as we set the tone for the conversation. Tanima, and the spotlight is on Arvind Kejriwal.
That's right. In fact, as we know, Tanvi, that Arvind Kejriwal is the biggest face that Aam Aadmi Party has, and it was probably his star power which actually managed to get Aam Aadmi Party 28 seats back in 2013 as well when they made their electoral debut. Let's just take a look at what Arvind Kejriwal's background has been and the enigma that he is. So he is an ex-Indian Revenue Service officer who led the RTI movement. Remember, Arvind Kejriwal actually came into the public consciousness even ahead of the Anna movement as we know it, which broke in 2011. Ahead of that, he was a bureaucrat who had in fact spearheaded the RTI movement in the country. And also, the movement became an idealistic campaign against corruption. So between 2002-03 onwards to right up till 2010, before India Against Corruption actually came into existence, Arvind Kejriwal was actually spearheading the RTI movement and had also been recognized with the Magsaysay Award for that. He acquired a high-profile image during the Anna agitation. So 2011 was the one when Arvind Kejriwal actually, stormed into the public domain in a way with the Anna agitation, holding it in Jantar Mantar and then Ramleela Maidan in the national capital, where for days he, along with several other colleagues of his, were actually fighting against corruption, as they said, in order to bring the Lokpal bill in the parliament, and also the fact that this agitation saw a lot of support, not just in the national capital, but across the country as well. He pitched Lokpal as a game changer in the war against corruption. So that has been something that the Aam Aadmi Party as well as Arvind Kejriwal have been consistently speaking about, that is the bill and the act that they wanted in order to bring about a change as far as tackling corruption is concerned. And remember, ahead of the 2014 elections, it became a big issue as well. Broke away from the IAC movement, formed Aam Aadmi Party in 2012. So as we know that they were, in fact, ahead of Aam Aadmi Party being formed, India Against Corruption, they were taunted in a way saying that they want certain changes to take place, but nobody is actually plunging into electoral politics where actual changes can be made. So keeping that in mind, keeping that feedback in mind, Aam Aadmi Party was formed and they made their electoral debut, as I said, in 2013. And Aam Aadmi Party has the unique status of being a state party which isn't a breakaway unit. As we mentioned, that this was formed because of the anti-corruption movement spearheaded by Arvind Kejriwal starting from 2010-2011 onwards. So because of that, Aam Aadmi Party has the unique position of being a party which isn't a breakaway unit. So we've seen that they have had a near sweep in 2015. Let's see how they do this time.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks, Tanima, so much for joining us with that. Arvind Kejriwal is saying, सभी महिलाओं से खास अपील, जैसे आप घर की जिम्मेदारी उठाती हैं, वैसे ही मुल्क और दिल्ली की जिम्मेदारी भी आपके कंधों पर है. आप सभी महिलाएं वोट डालने जरूर जाएं और अपने घर के पुरुषों को भी ले जाएं. And then he says this, Vinay, पुरुषों से चर्चा जरूर करें कि किसे वोट देना सही रहेगा. That's a little odd. In a sense, saying women should discuss it with the men of their household who they should vote for.
Yes, and I think, look, that's another example of how shrewd and how calculative he is. He's actually borrowed again a chapter from Mr. Modi's book. Mr. Modi in many elections actually exhorts and speaks directly to women. He started doing that in Gujarat. In Gujarat, he was extremely popular amongst women. He's carried that experiment on to the national politics as well, and Kejriwal is doing that as well. There is one other reason why he's saying so. In Delhi, there are two kinds of people, and I think we already discussed in the first 1 hour of the large number of migrants that live in Delhi, nearly 50%. But amongst those 50% migrants, there are two kinds of them. One, who stay with their families, which means the husband and the wife or the children all have come along, or those who just live here alone and are possibly have their families back home.
Respected panelists, here in this case, I would like to cite one more case when Mr. Arjun Singh, when he was the HRD minister, he came up with the reservations to backward classes in educational institutions. There emerged a group called Youth for Equality, which was totally against this reservation. And one point in time, Kejriwal was with Youth for Equality, who supported all these activities. But when, after India Against Corruption, and when he started projecting himself as a potential candidate for the chief minister, he was totally in favor of, this entire Mandal recommendations and the reservations.